IVM.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like The Seen and the Unseen, hosted by Amit Verma, where he discusses topics related to economic policies and its impact on our society.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Hello and welcome everyone to a brand new episode of the TFG Indian Football Podcast. Get away with your Monday morning blues with some Indian football action that happened over the weekend. But it's going to be sad that over the coming month, I don't think we've got too much of high-level action. But yes, we will find something to bring along your way. We will be talking about two important pieces of news. One is the Super Cup has ended, obviously. We will review the final between East Bengal and Bengaluru. And second big announcement was the Intercontinental Championship, where India will be playing host to three other nations representing their continent, and that's going to be coming your way in June. Before that, Bhubaneswar. Chiranjit was in Bhubaneswar and he's also on the call, and he witnessed the final live in front of his eyes, burning in front of his eyes.
Yes.
Chiranjit, please take us through your experience of the final.
Before we get into that, Kevin, but why are you saying we have a dearth of top-level action going on for Indian football? I think we've had the most busy and jam-packed season we've ever had, with 20 clubs playing at top level in I-League and ISL. Second Division League is still going on. We have AFC Cup matches that will continue till 16th of May. Now, I'm not going to put all my money on it, but there's a good chance we will play a friendly or two, maybe one friendly in the lead up to the Intercontinentals, which will happen early June. Then we're going to have a break for the FIFA World Cup, obviously. But by the time the World Cup ends in July, the local leagues will already start, right? And Calcutta Football League, other leagues. We have Mizoram Football also kicking off. Goa Pro League will also start chugging along. Then by the time that gets over, it will be like September. We'll have some cups happening, Airlines Cup, Sikkim Gold Cup, maybe Durand Cup will also happen. And October, I-League and ISL starts again. So we don't have a break, Kevin. That's not in our life. We're not even going to have 1 week without proper action happening and something new to talk about. It's if you were thinking that अच्छा हो गया अभी बहुत 20 टीम कवर कर लिया I-League ISL सब कुछ हो गया Super Cup भी हो गया अभी we're going to have time to take a week off or take a break. Forget it, Kevin. There is no vacation in our destiny. There's just I don't know. This job really, it does not give you a single day's break. Always something is happening.
That's Ranjit. So we will again come back to the burning action that you witnessed live in front of your eyes in Bhubaneswar.
Literally burning. My ass was burning that day. Literally. I turned up a little bit early because I wanted to set up my camera to take some pictures. And I sat down on one of the front seats, which was not under a shade. And oh my goodness, I literally got ass burning, man, by the end of the first half. But it's literally. But seriously, it was a bit of a respite. I think right after the first half, clouds started to gather. We even had a little bit of rain down the line. But it's looking good, man. I mean, the game was good. Bengaluru FC deserve all the credit for putting on that show and dominating East Bengal in the second half. But let me ask you this, Kevin. That early red card call that was against when Kroma was making that darting run, he was about to invade the Bengaluru FC box, and I think Gurpreet came out. And there was John Johnson as well. there should have been a red card, man.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. What do you think?
No, when you talk about watching the game from in front of a television set and watching the game from the referee's eyes, these are two different perspectives, and it happens at the spur of the moment, and the referee has to take a call at that very second. It might not be the right decision, but if you're asking me that question, if I was in the shoes of the referee, for me it really looked like it was a hard tackle that was a high foot, obviously, on Kroma, and that deserved a red card, obviously. And I wouldn't say a red card for obstruction of a goal scoring opportunity, because I think there was a defender involved in that, so that doesn't count as an obstruction. But the red card would have been for a high foot, and it was dangerously high, and I believe Kroma just escaped that by an inch or so. If had it been on his chest directly, I think he just scraped past the chest of Kroma. If it would have been an inch higher or lower, it would have been damaging for Kroma. So in my regard, I believe that should have been a straight red card for Gurpreet for coming in with a high tackle, and that was dangerous play.
Yeah, definitely, and also count the situation. He's about to clear the goalkeeper. He's about to just have a solitary area in front of him where he can just tap in the goal. It was a show goal for East Bengal. It could have been even harsher than a red card. I think it was something that could have been reviewed by a disciplinary committee, and the suspension could be extended actually for something like that. But the referee took the decision that he took, and the match went on. East Bengal got a goal. It was quite good. I think it will go down as one of the top 10 goals of the season. The way he scored from that tight angle with that spinning bicycle kick, very photogenic, very memorable goal. But right after that, everything just changed.
Yeah.
And this is something Sunil Chetri said after the match, that for him the turning point was East Bengal scoring. And this sort of brings us to a very interesting perspective on the Bengaluru FC team. So often, when they are, and I think we've heard this from the players before, they like to start a little bit slow when they have heat. Like first 20 minutes, they take it slow to conserve energy. But whenever they are in a bad situation, like they're a goal down or they've had a red card, and now they have their back to the wall, they just come alive, and that's when their fight back begins. Is this, it's worked for them so far. Is it healthy to wait this long, or is this just a, what do you think? Is this just a sign of the spirit that Bengaluru FC has, that whenever they have sort of taken an early blow, that they just give their 110% and get back into the game?
For me, it's the attitude that the team has. It's not individual brilliances over there. It's how the team reacts to a situation, and this tournament has been a prime example of how Bengaluru FC, every time they are down, I think they come back stronger every time they're down. And I usually do not see Bengaluru, getting in the first goal and then laying back just to preserve that lead. But what they've been stronger is, when you've been hit already in the first half, they finish the half strongly, and second half is always, in a way, just to pull out, drain out all the energy from the team, and then they go all out at the start of the second half. So that's been it's been a character that Bengaluru FC have shown right along this tournament, and it's building up with every match that they play. And for me, it's not about how you want to develop a trend. It's more about how you can sustain yourself even after being a goal down, and Bengaluru FC have been strong in that.
Yeah, and of course Bengaluru FC, that tells you, man, the professionalism, the team spirit, and the commitment to the team that every player shows in Bengaluru FC, that whenever they are at the verge of losing the game, they just fight back and turn it around. And we have seen this in the semi-final, and we saw this in the final, that Bengaluru FC just early in the second half have this 2 or 3 minute spell where they just knock the other team out of the game. You know, the 2 goals happened within 2-3 minutes in both the semi-finals as well as the final. And that just, I think, you know, if you're looking at a team's dominance, you know, you can't really expect a team to be dominant against teams like East Bengal and Mohun Bagan all the time.
Yeah.
But you will have these pockets where they play so well that they secure the game. That literally, I don't know what else you can say other than Bengaluru FC are by far the most dominant club in India of the season. By miles, like there's no one even close to them.
Chiranjit, you know, you have to understand, where is the strength that BFC has to make these comebacks. You know, just going by the way the goals were scored, you know, it's not just one sort of open field goals. It's coming from corners, it's coming from set pieces, it's coming from, you know, smart free kicks. The way Miku scored against Mohun Bagan, it was the presence of mind of, you know, I think it was Tony Duale who made that, you know, quick through ball to have Miku, because at that moment it was towards it was the second half, and all the Mohun Bagan players, once a free kick was conceded, were not even looking at the ball, and that is the basic mistake that anyone can just go through. And on the hindsight, you look at Bengaluru FC, you know, they are a goal down, they are a man down, and they're just waiting for that opportunity, somebody's lack of concentration, and they snap, and there you get a goal back. You know, that's how the concentration is even at the end of your game. It's not the start where, you know, you're focused all the time. It's, you know, these opportunistic goals that they always find to get the goals from. You know, these way, I think that is a complete team in a way, because it's not just, you know, one type of goal being scored. We saw free kicks being given to the opposite team as well, but they couldn't do anything with that. You know, you saw Katsumi Yusa, you saw even for Mohun Bagan for that matter, they had so many chances via free kicks in crucial positions. I think had it been for their peak season, it would have been a different game, but then those chances fall to Bengaluru FC and they make the best of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And literally, I mean, just both the games at the end, the scoreline tells you were not even that close. I mean, you can say Mohun Bagan had them cornered for a bit, but they fought out of it. East Bengal, after the goal, well, they just were not even in the game. It was a domination from Bengaluru FC. So is it, I don't know, maybe some will disagree with me, but Bengaluru FC, this literally has been their best season so far as a team. Right, I mean, the way they have played throughout the season, 8-point lead at the top of the table. They have been unbeaten in AFC Cup so far. They have been doing so well in Super Cup. It seems, justified that they would have a trophy in this season. You know, so in that way, you know, it just makes sense that you would have them as Super Cup champions. Do you see this as a seal of their dominance, or this is you still need to see more to come at a consensus?
No, it's been tough for Bengaluru FC considering the number of competitions that have been involved in, and even after being involved in, they've shown equal importance to each of them. And the consistency lies in getting the best results of whatever tournament you're playing in whatever situation. You have a team that was playing so well prior to through the draft, and everything almost just went away for them, and they recuperated so well. They got back most of the team that they wanted, and they got replacements via look at the foreigners that they got in: Miku, Eric Partalu, Tony Duale. Now these guys have been so like they've been the blocks of building blocks for their success. You have John Johnson at the back. He's continued for so many years, and building a team, rebuilding is rebuilding is more difficult than building a team, because it's a different format, even considering the home away and away in your AFC competitions, and lots of travel in the ISL as well. Plus, you add in another a tournament like the Hero Super Cup. Your attention is diverted, but yet your focus cannot be moved from your your end result, and that's been the sign of confidence. That's been the sign of progress, and that's been the sign of a successful club.
Yeah, and you saw what happened afterwards. Grand celebrations. You had Sunil Chetri giving John Johnson the chance to lift the trophy as a captain. Then he went and let the fans take the trophy for a while. So yeah, it was classy celebration as always from Sunil Chetri from Bengaluru FC. They have a match coming up in AFC Cup. We will review that on Friday. Whatever went down. Aizawl FC are also in action this week. So it's all looking very nice and very dense for Indian football, and Bengaluru FC are on a roll. Do you think they can repeat what they did back in 2016?
Very likely. I think they're headed in the right direction, and they've got they've still got the right focus, and they've not blinked once even this season, and that's been the strength. And I think we spoke about this as well. They've been more hungrier than ever. This season has shown that all, and I don't have any doubt that it's going to be one of the best seasons for them.
Yeah.
All right, that was Bengaluru FC, all about them and their season, the continuous season. We will take a break right here. On the other side, we will talk about the national team. We will talk about the tournament that the India national team, the senior team, will be playing, and also probably one or two friendlies. All that on the other side of the break. Come back to us.
So you know that thing that people say about Mother's Day? Every day should be Mother's Day. Well, personally, I think that every day should be Star Wars Day. Unfortunately though, it isn't. But on May the 4th this year, Geek Fruit will be celebrating it with all you nerds out there. Come join us at Geek Fruit Cantina at the Habitat in Car, Bombay, where we'll be making a night out of everything Star Wars, including a screening of the prequel Strike Back, a live edition of our world-famous podcast, don't quote me on that, and joining our crew will be a bunch of special guests probably from the Instagram and the YouTube thing. Merchandise, trivia, prizes, and everything else rebel scum like you could ask for. It's the Geek Fruit Cantina at the Habitat. May the 4th be with you.
Welcome back, guys, and as we said, we will be talking about the Indian men's senior national team in action. June is when you want to come to Mumbai. Chiranjit, I hope you will be here in Mumbai.
Yeah.
You cannot be missing this action. So you got 4 teams, including India, to be playing this Intercontinental Championship, first time ever. So last time it was three nations, but not really a continental championship. This one is, and it's part of the 2019 Asian Cup preparation. South Africa, New Zealand, and Chinese Taipei are the 4 nations that will be coming here. Mind you, they'll be coming in with their first team, and that is the agreement that is signed with these 3 nations. And Chiranjit, what do you think? Is this the right way to go for the Indian national team after that bitter defeat in Kyrgyz Republic?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been waiting for India to start facing a higher level of opponents for a long time now. We're in the Asian Cup. We're not going to get easy matches. We're not going to get like Cambodia or Myanmar or teams in that level. We need to step up. We need to get ourselves, and if it means losing a few games, so be it. The rankings don't matter anymore. Yeah. What has happened, the pots and Asian Cup qualification, all that is done. If we win a couple of games in Asian Cup, our ranking will shoot up. If we don't, our ranking will go down. It's about that right now. If we are going to think about getting a string of wins together, we have that chance in September when we play in the SAF Championship. We can win a trophy, we can win 5-6 matches back to back over there. But right now it's time for some tough love. And it's not just the Intercontinental Cup. I was very happy when AIFF went ahead and tried to set up friendlies with China and Thailand. China, I think, maybe too soon, but I would definitely like to see that somewhere around November or December. Thailand in May would have been nice, but didn't happen. But we are looking at the same, the right things happening, right?
Yeah.
And we're facing some good teams here this time. It's not a stopgap tournament they're doing. South Africa, very tough team. They have played in the World Cup in the past. We have New Zealand. They're ranked below us, but better team than us, arguably. Simply because they have not been playing that ranking game and they've been playing tougher opponents. That's why they are ranked below us right now. Chinese Taipei, maybe that's the team that we're supposed to beat and get. That's a sure team. Like, we can't have a tournament in Mumbai and lose all matches and all that stuff. But so you got to have one guy that we can knock out over there. But still, it's not going to be the easiest of games. It's definitely going to be tougher than playing Nepal. So it's looking good. It's looking good. And to be frank, I don't mind us playing Nepal to in a friendly to just build up to the Intercontinental Championship. So it's gonna be a busy time, and that's the way it's supposed to be, because during the World Cup the players are gonna get a month off anyway, because you can't really do anything while that's on. So right now I don't think there should be any break. Like second week of May, starter camp. After let Aizawl FC and Bengaluru FC players join after their last AFC Cup game is over, then have one or two friendlies, and then go directly into the championship.
Yeah, that will be a great thing to have, friendlies, matches to watch, and practice games for the national team. And it's still haunting that defeat at Kyrgyz Republic, 2-1 is actually the score really doesn't tell you how bad we played in that game. But I think we need to bounce back, and it's the time now. Now that the club action is mostly over, the domestic season is over, and we are looking forward to seeing the national team in again back to full fitness. Let's hope Lindo is also back, one of the key midfielders that we really missed in that game against Kyrgyz Republic. And also to understand that we'll be playing newer teams, South Africa, New Zealand, Chinese Taipei. The more newer teams we face, we always have something. It's a surprise for us. It's a test for our team as well. Because if we keep playing the same team again and again, just for example, Nepal, we know how they play. It's somewhere you get an idea. This is how you beat a team you face too often. So a new fresh team coming in to play, it's even better that we're not traveling for this Intercontinental Cup right here in Mumbai. June 1st is when this tournament kicks off. Make sure you're in Mumbai if you're not here already. And Chiranjit will be here.
Is IPL over by then?
Who doesn't know about that? IPL, like everyone except us knows about the IPL. Let's not talk about that. And we are here to talk about Indian football.
You have to be careful about that, because then suddenly we might see the matches kicking off at 3 or 4 p.m. on account of IPL. So we don't really want our national team to be treated that way. But one thing that we should watch out for is the kind of squads that Constantine picks, because he's been under a lot of criticism for not going and attending I-League and ISL matches.
Yeah, just by tweeting we know that he's been watching the matches in.
Yeah, but I hope he's been watching. He's been keeping a close eye on the games, and he because this is his chance, right? This is the chance for India to test new blood. Right, and especially if we have a friendly late in May, or the game against Chinese Taipei, or the SAF Championship. So the next pick that Constantine makes for the camps, I'm expecting 5 or 6 new faces, because what he's been saying is that he still needs 2 to 3 new players to join the roster for the Asian Cup. And these games are going to be the proper testing ground to come up with those players. And let's just hope the young talent that get called up to the camp or get fielded in the SAF Championship or even in a game in Mumbai, they take full advantage of it, because I do think the team still has a speed issue in the midfield up.
Yeah.
And we could use a little bit more stability in the defense. I mean, just Sandesh and Arnab, and even if you have Pritham in there, it's just not enough if you get drawn against Saudi or Australia or something like that.
Yes, so we are looking forward to the squad that will be announced, that will be part of the camp, and hopefully that camp is in Mumbai soon, so we can just get a glimpse of the training, and we will get to talk about the coach's perspective of getting in new faces, trying and testing in this tournament, along with heading into the SAF Championship that's coming along, and also the friendlies. This is the preparation that we want to get into before we head to UAE for the Asian Cup. And on that note, this show comes to an end, and we will come back to you next week. If you are listening to us on YouTube, do not forget to like, share, subscribe. Also download IVM Podcasts app, which is available on Android and iOS. The podcast is also available on major podcasting apps like SoundCloud, iTunes, etc. And do not forget to share your thoughts on Bengaluru FC's season that it's still going on. What do you think about this club that has been getting in trophies along the years? 5-5 is what they've already got through. Do keep following at the rate TFG Football. Chiranjit also available on Twitter at Chiranjit Oja. I am available on Twitter as Boza_Kevin. Do give us a follow. Do let us know your thoughts on the Indian football scene, what you're expecting. We will come back to you next week. Till then, have a great time. Take care.
There she stands, a podcast addict. Outside the bank, having travelled several miles to get in with other poor souls like her. The journey, though daunting for this youngling, will have some comfort because she has downloaded her favourite podcast. You can see more of her species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.